Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. I am coming on tonight because I wanted to discuss the whole situation with the Fresh and Fit podcast and Asian Doll's appearance on their show. And in particular, I also wanted to talk about Joe Budden's response to the whole situation. So I personally found the response pretty, interesting. But I wanted to just bring it out to you all just to see, to hear what your thoughts are pertaining to this matter. A lot of people, um, as of late, kind of have an opinion about the matter, about the two gentlemen's preference to not date Black women. And it's something that, because it's hard to get around with hearing people talk about it, I guess, when you spend a lot of time on the line or in particular on YouTube. So because a YouTuber, I'm always on YouTube. So it's like a topic that I'm constantly um, seeing people have or listening to people have. So I want to come on here and just share my perspective and talk about it from different angles. So, if you are live with me at this moment, if you can, please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts as I get into this. I will share my screen. I'm going to start with sharing the comments made by Joe Budden. He's a rapper. I don't know if he's still a rapper, but right now he's most known for a popular podcast that he has. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is coming from on the website for hiphopdx.com. So the headline reads Joe Budden destroys podcast hosts who clash with Asian doll. And he said, too goose, too insecure, fragile, and weak. So in the article, it goes on to, and this was published on January 5th, 2022. So it goes on to say there's something to be said if Joe Budden finds someone offensive or out of pocket. And that's definitely a true statement. When you hear Joe Budden talking about somebody talking sideways and or treating a Black woman a certain way, I don't know. It's Joe Budden. I think it falls into that category of it's not about what was said. It's kind of like the messenger. So I think the fact that Joe Budden was saying all of this is kind of had people kind of on pause. So let's just continue on with this article. It says on Wednesday, January 5th, the outspoken podcast titan took his thoughts to Instagram, where he addressed the hosts of the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines and Walker Weeks, who recently clashed with rapper Asian Doll. As part of the as part of Budden's post, he shared a couple of clips from the Fresh and Fit podcast. And in one of them, Weeks flatly states he doesn't date Black women and proceeds to say, quote, most Black girls are annoying, ratchet, and they don't know how to converse. Gaines also referred to Black women as, quote, a bunch of Shaniquas in another clip. Budden evidently found this deplorable and decided to air them out, and he didn't mince words. So Joe Budden goes on to say, now, quote, now I don't normally do the repost another pod thing because one, I just don't, and two, some stuff just doesn't deserve to be highlighted. But today, I'll make an exception. He began in the since deleted post. I don't know these two deuce, but they don't get to do this. Too ignorant, inexperienced, insecure, fragile, and weak for this stale gimmick to not be seen through. Now, one, I didn't know that he had supposedly deleted the post. So I wonder what caused for him to delete the post, but let's carry on. He then also goes on to say, quote, "Black women are everything, especially beautiful, every kind of beautiful too. So to hear this from them, it's laughable, but it's not. It's not. Y'all don't date black women's fam. Black women won't date y'all. I can tell. So you harbor this hate and base opinions off as if you've been outside long enough to even know yourself. And y'all are angry about it, just not angry enough to not use them." So again, I think this whole statement from Joe Budden, like I get where he was coming from, but yo, when the last time we seen Joe Budden parading like a black woman on his arm? Like not somebody who like when you squint or look to the left, slightly to the right, you kind of see maybe a Negro nose. I'm talking about a straight black woman. I ain't never seen it. Y'all can let me know if y'all seen it. Hey, Reg Rose, welcome. Oh Lord, Fatty and Fruitcake being colors per. I don't even watch their show. It's like I hear their names about their podcast. Most of the time, it's centered around some foolishness. So I've never really even tuned into their show. It's like I've only just heard like clips whenever somebody's highlighting some foolishness that took place on their podcast. Reg, you say I feel like people use the term preference as an excuse. Yes, I mean, my thing is I'm all for whatever you like, but the part that kind of has me on pause is when someone feels the need to put down another or an entire group of people just because that's quote unquote not their preference. My thing is if you got a preference, you got a preference. You don't really even need to speak on it. But even if you do say, "Hey, I prefer tall girls." You don't have to follow up with because short girls are this, that, and the third. Just leave it at, "Hey, my preference is tall girls." You see what I'm saying? So I don't feel like it's a need to have to down another group of people just because it's not what you're into. That's just simply not what you're into, period. And that's the problem that, even like some of the other people I've heard speak on it, they speak on it from that perspective as in, okay, y'all didn't set up here and dislike a whole group of people. You took it beyond, "Oh, this my preference, I just like this," but you straight diss the whole group of the people that you say you don't like. That's the part that wasn't necessary. And to me, both of them give me the vibes of, how you'll have those guys, where back in the day, before they had a name for themselves, the girls weren't checking for them like that. And then once they get a little name for themselves, when the girls start checking for them, they're like, "Nah, I don't even want to talk to you," because they still in their feelings about before they had a name, that particular group of girls weren't interested in them. Because let's be real, we're not talking about the most attractive guys on the planet. I'm just going to call it like it is. So I personally don't feel like they popping like that to be trying to put down a whole group of people and diss them as though they're not good enough for them to court or to date. Like, I do agree that, when Joe made a comment of saying, "Y'all speak like this because of the black women that's not interested in dating you." Fast forward to today, I do believe because of the name that they have for themselves, black women are interested in dating them. But prior to them having the Fresh and Fit podcast, were black women interested in dating them? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. So I think now that they're in a position to feel as though they got the options to kind of pick and choose, they just outright say, "Okay, well, no, we don't do the black girls." Kind of like, we're above that. And I believe, that's the tip that it's on. But when it comes this message coming from Joe Budden, it's almost like give me that vibes of when who was that? Big Sean fairly recently made a comment praising black women and saying that we were the closest thing to God. But though black Twitter went in, they like, "Yo, bro, if we all of that, why we ain't never seen a black queen on your arm?" It's usually someone who's just not black or someone who's racially ambiguous or someone who, okay, they got an ounce of black. It's not somebody who's just very evident a black woman like a Normani or who else? Like Gabrielle Union, like someone who, like, you look, there's no question we're dealing with a Black woman. We've never seen Big Sean, stepping onto a scene with any woman that looked like that. And even with Joe Budden. So let me know if Joe Budden has even had somebody like that just on his arm, or if he have children, baby moms that even look just straight Black. And if he did, were they before he became Joe Budden, on the scene, became this celebrity. So I think right now, it's with Joe Budden, we hear what you're saying, but the fact that it's Joe Budden who's saying it, it's just like, we kind of taking it with a grain of salt. So it looks like this is the post that Joe Budden had posted. Or no, well, yeah, this looks like this is the post that he had posted. Someone kind of sharing it, says Joe Budden speaks on the dudes from Fresh and Fit. So this is like all that he had to say. Then the article goes on to say, clearly just getting warmed up. Joe Budden then described what he thinks is the difference between a successful show such as the Joe Budden podcast and the ones that simply desperate for clicks. Quote, these idiots know most podcasts can't get off the ground or gain any tractions without love or hate from Black women, he continued. Both act as fuel. This is nothing more than a cheap, tasteless heave at a payday. The words don't match the actions. If you hate them, do it without them. Skip the topic. Don't have them as guests. You clearly don't know how to host them. Don't cater convo towards them. That's my thought, because I don't watch that podcast, The Fresh and Fit, but the time, I do see I'll see clips circling around of their podcasts. And typically you will see, a Black girl or two on there. More often than not, I'll see a table surrounded by a bunch of non-Black girls, but I will see some Black girls here and there. So my thing is, if you not feeling them like that, why are you even inviting them to the show? And I feel like the one that took that tone with Asian Doll, I'm not even quite sure which one which one he is. I feel like he took that tone with her because that just goes to show the level of respect that he has for women that looks like her, period. If it was a woman who I feel like he found to be quote unquote attractive or his type, I don't think he would have talked to her like that. That's just my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip right here. Alex Jones, welcome. Is Budden a funny name for him? Listen, I don't know what the history is about that name, Alex. Who is Red Drill? Let me see. Let me block this troll that we got. Block. Yeah, we got an unwanted guest in here. So I'm gonna play this clip for those who may have not seen it. So Academics posted it, so let's get into it.
I don't even know who she is, so I don't care. Simple.
Damn.
Guys, sidebar conversations, please. Right, I've told you this is like, this is like the fifth time I've told you that, right?
Sixth time.
Like, stop. For real, like, stop.
He mean as fuck.
Man, you haven't been here.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Yeah, it's the whole show.
Yeah, she's been doing it the whole show. I'm not mean as fuck. I just have rules. Simple.
All right, go ahead.
It's podcast.
Damn.
What I look for in a man in club, that's like approaching me.
Hold on. Excuse me?
You mean?
I'm not mean at all.
Okay, I don't care.
Have you been here the whole time?
No.
All right, then. So you don't know what was happening,
I
right?
don't give a fuck.
Okay, then. So how are you going to come on somebody's show, not know what will go down, and say, oh, you're mean?
It don't matter. I can say what I want.
Okay, well, you can get the fuck off the show, too.
I don't give a fuck.
Chill, man. Chill out, bro.
Listen,
Nah, you can go.
Chill. She ain't
gotta come on the platform.
Nah, chill, bro. She ain't gotta go nowhere.
No, she could go.
Chill.
I don't have to.
Chill.
Come on, baby. We don't have to be this mean. We can all be fun.
Chill out, bro.
Let's calm
I'm
down.
sorry.
He's hot. I'm calm.
No, I'm very calm, but it's like, bro, you gotta show a little bit of respect on the platform.
It's cool, bro. Chill.
I say you mean. It is what it is. What the fuck you want me to say?
That's not the truth, though.
You mad about I said mean? You grown as hell.
Well.
Yeah, well.
Okay. So earlier on the show, there's a little back and forth. So he just handed her to chill because it was like 5 times before it's like chill.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay, but I said he mean. Why he want to stop the shit?
Well,
because you don't know what was going on.
We are.
I don't know.
It's good though, bro.
Why
Hey,
would
yo,
it piss you off?
chill, bro. All right, we all right. We good.
He want a
I mean,
moment. Get it slow.
We good. Let's keep going, bro. We all
I want to
right.
leave.
Let's keep.
No,
Baby,
don't
you got.
leave, please.
I won't.
Please.
Okay, just like from here on out, like please
on his
one
ass,
at a
he's
time
tripping.
because we're gonna
Yeah,
get short
we'll
right
start it
now.
over. I
Because
promise I won't say nothing. I
Okay? This
promise.
is the fifth time.
Okay.
You said that last time.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Okay, let's start
Go
it
ahead.
over. Okay.
Listen, dude. Don't let them dollars fool you.
All right.
Go on, babe.
Super chats and then we'll do.
Nah. I'm just talking in general. Don't get me beat up, but.
No, we're end the show after this.
Oh, that's okay, cool.
Yeah, 20 up.
Netty pot.
Netty pot for tomorrow
That's
morning.
messed up.
I need one. Venmo me or send it to me via Uber Eats. Thanks.
Oh, we got Dixie Normus.
Thank you.
$10 says, "Girl, to it from Myron is Freshina." Okay. We got DJ says, "Dan, when Agent O sat down, she made all other girls look busted." Yup. Later. All right. Girl, to it from Myron is Freshina. Okay, cool. And then we got got some going on in the back.
They can't even pay attention to dance screen.
Damn. Cool. So we're gonna end this show here shortly. And Chris.
I'm a huge fan.
Chris. Let's close up.
Yeah, good decision to roll out. Asian, don't come on someone's show not knowing what's going on and speak it down on the host. Respect the show. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
First time donating, just say Myron is a real one. Don't change for nobody. Yeah, fuck out of here, bro. We don't change. I don't even know who she is, so I don't care.
That's Queen Von girl. Like, you know who Queen Von is?
No, I know who Vaughn is, but I mean,
You
I
know who this girl is.
don't know who girl
It's
is.
King Von. So it's like, hold on. The fact you said it's King Von's girl instead of it was her.
Yeah, that's
Alex, you said it's glitching. I'm gonna drop the link to I'll drop the link so you guys can see it. But it was a whole mess. I think at the end of the day, I think the host, given that Asian Doll was the guest, I think that he could have handled the situation better. Because will impact their numbers as far as with just Black women in general rocking with them, because they got a lot of subscribers, like over 500,000. But I'm going to say, I wouldn't say probably a large number of them were already probably Black women anyway. But now with all this popping off, I think it's a chance that the number of Black women that they maybe did have as a subscribers probably will decrease, and it may just slow the progression as far as with the growth of their channel, because it was just a disrespectful moment. And Asian doll, I'm familiar with who she is. Now, I don't know none of her music or whatever, but I at least know her by name. I know her name. So, let me see. Let's go back. I'm going to go back to that article where that video was shown and see what was said. It says, finally, the former Slaughterhouse MC showed nothing but love to Black women within. And lastly, yes, we love Shaniqua and Bukusha. LaKanya is a personal favorite. I see why they hate some of you Ians having a microphone. Budden included a third clip of Gang speaking to the camera and giving tips on essentially how to trick a woman into having sex with him, which Budden's commentators found particularly disturbing. Even rapper Safari weighed in. Thank you, Joe. I can't stand his A. I'm sure it means something coming from a podcast icon. So that's that. But Asian Doll has since responded since everything kind of went down, and everybody seems to have an opinion. So let's hop over to check out what her response is. Okay, so this is from complex.com. Asian Doll addresses podcast walkout after verbal altercation with hosts. So this was posted January 4th. So article goes on to say Asian Doll addressed an incident from Monday that saw her walk out of the podcast recording after getting into a dispute with one of the hosts. The Dallas rapper was speaking with the Fresh and Fit podcast on Monday when a co-host, Myron Fit, or I guess he's the Fit in Fresh and Fit, Gaines became upset. Other people were chatting during the recording. Quote, guys, sidebar conversation, please, Gaines said. And quote, I've told you, this is like the 5th time I told you that, right? Like, stop, for real, like, stop. Then Asian Doll goes to say, he mean as F, Doll said. Gaines, the co-host Walter Fresh Weeks, defends Gaines, saying Doll continued to have other conversations during the podcast, which apparently breaks the show's rules. Quote, she's been doing it for the whole show. I'm not mean as F. I just have you rules. Simple, Gaines said. So Doll then called him a mean A-N under her breath, and the two kept going on and prompting Gaines to say, okay, then you can get the F off the show too. You can go. You're not going to come on the platform and disrespect me. So, quote, he's not hot. I'm calm. Doll replied. The show resumed for a while, but Gaines eventually left the studio, as did the rapper. So Asian Doll took to Twitter on Tuesday to share her perspective, telling her fans, quote, I was so calm yesterday because I knew what he was trying to do. Mr. Freddy Krueger was finna get beat down Elm Street off camera. I'm thankful for the growth and self-control, and I'm happy I defended another Black woman because he was treating her so bad. Ugh. So, I wonder who was he when she said she was defending another Black woman that he was treating bad. Who was that? Because I never seen the full clip. I've just only been seeing the parts about the kind of encounter. So I'm not quite sure who this person who Asian Doll felt she was defending was. She wrote, yes, 2022, we ain't doing all that. Somebody, Capri, had tweeted at Asian Brat really kept her cool on the podcast. She was on his ass, but wasn't really on his ass. I mean, I thought she did handle herself quite well. I mean, I think that it could have went way left, but I wasn't mad at really how she kind of handled it. I kind of think that she was kind of more lighthearted about it in the beginning, playful, and then he just took it serious. I think he just took that tone because she just not as a preference. So it's just like, I don't respect you. You're one of the brown girls, what they call, they have the different names for the girls that they don't rock with. And Asian Doll fell into that category. So to me, that's where the lack of respect came in. You know, she wasn't one of the favorites. So yeah, I mean, it was a sad situation. From what I hear, I haven't gone and saw yet, but I think this matter has made it to the shade room. And from what I was hearing, they're like, "Yo, if you make it to the shade room, then you in a bad situation, you know, with the Black culture, if you make it to the shade room for something that's not favorable like that." I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna go to the shade room. It's not really a site that I frequent. So I'm gonna see if I want to see if this situation is on there, because it just seems like collectively, from what I've been hearing, Black people really weren't here for how that situation kind of went down between them and, you know, their guest Asian Doll. Let me see. I'm gonna share my screen as I try to navigate through. Let me see. Let me share my screen. We're gonna go to the celebrity. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I can navigate celebrity news, because, you know, it's just like for the most part, the feedback that kind of it's been kind of almost like I hear a lot of people that are for. Okay, so it's on here. It's on here. Joe Budden unloads on the host. Okay, so it's on the shade room. It's like, you know, the opinions that people have been having. I hear a lot of people are like, Fresh and Fit, they were wrong. They didn't have to handle the situation like that. And then, you know, I'll hear some, you know, we're reading comments on, you know, videos where some of the guys feel like there was nothing wrong with how they dealt with Asian Doll. Like I said, just in general, in my opinion, just with the Black woman plight, it's no secret that the Black woman isn't the most favorable woman across cultural groups. So I think that whole energy right there plays into how a lot of, you know, the men, in particular Black men, feel about how the Fresh and Fit podcast handled the situation with Asian Doll, because Asian Doll was just a whole Black woman. I just think that if it was a non-Black woman or a racially ambiguous woman, first of all, I don't think the energy would even went like that. And if it did, I think it would be more people coming to the defense of that woman. And, you know, but you know, it's a real thing, you know, the whole thing with, you know, the Black girl struggle, or even colorism. Asian Doll, not only is she a Black woman, she's a beautiful Black woman, she's a darker complected Black woman. So I've heard the Fresh and Fit guys talk about, well, if we do deal with even a Black person, they got to be light skinned. Like, they've had a lot of comments, you know, that they've made where I've seen clips of them making comments about what their preference is. And that's fine. That's fine. But when you want to categorize all Black women into like to insinuate that Black women are a part of like the hood culture, then that's when you got to get checked, which is what Joe Budden, you know, called himself doing with the podcast. Because Joe Budden may not be running around with somebody who is heavily melanated, you know, but at the same time, we're not hearing Joe Budden verbally disrespecting, running around like saying verbal disrespectful things about Black women, like Black women who just look straight Black. Like I haven't seen or heard anyone talk about Joe Budden coming at the Black woman like that. So my thing is, Joe may have his preference, but he's leaving it at that. He's not downing a whole nother group of people just because he choose to move differently or mess with another group of people. And so that's the part that I can respect. It's like when you like what you like and you just keep those that you don't like, keep their name. It's almost like keep my name out your mouth. Cause like, why are you talking about me? That's kind of like the energy that I feel like that we're getting from here. It's like, okay, you don't have to like me or rock with me or find me attractive, but just keep my name out your mouth. Go on about your business, go talk or go play in the sandbox with those you do like. Leave me alone. Stop taking my money. Stop pandering to me, because the Fresh and Fit, they not going to turn away the Black girls showing up to sit on their panels. They not doing that. They not turning them away. They not turning away the Black girls who are subscribing, because you can see with the analytics, the demographics and things as far as we are subscribed, your subscriber, like all of that. They ain't turning away no money. But though they can boldly say, yeah, we don't rock with this, we don't rock with that. And I think the reason why they have the comfort to be able to do such a thing is because you see so many other people, in particular entertainers, celebrities, who do it all the time. They take the Black woman's dollar, they accept the support, but though they have no problems being disrespectful, saying verbally, not letting the Black girl in the club or sit in the VIP section. And unfortunately, far too many Black women have still overlooked that disrespect and still carry on and choose to support those same men. So if you're continuing to support these same men, the same group of people who are disrespecting you, at what point are they going to get the memo or the message to say, okay, nah, this ain't cool. They don't appreciate that. They're not, if you're still supporting them with your money, it's not going to happen. And it's far too often that Black women are still supporting nonsense. And this goes into that category of nonsense. So like I said, Fresh and Fit, I don't subscribe to them. I won't. And I just hope that going forward, Black women will be more selective about who they choose to support. If these people aren't showing that they support you, then why are you supporting them? It's a two-way street. These men have made it very clear that they don't support you. They have no problem calling you derogatory names, calling you offensive names, just because they simply don't want to go on a date with you. Where they do that at? That just shows the lack of maturity. That just shows that they don't even care about just messing with their bag, their money, because stuff like that can interfere with the money, your support. And like I said, they are on the Shade Room, and I don't know who I heard it say, who was it that I was listening to, but they were like, yo, if you making it to the Shade Room and it's for something negative, a lot of Black people, follow the Shade Room, they gonna like really stop and really marinate on the whole situation and really question how they want to move forward when it comes to rocking with you. So listen, I know what the Shade Room's all about, but I don't know the power of the Shade Room. So this is what I'm hearing, the type of power that the Shade Room has. So you guys can drop a comment and let me know your thoughts as far as, do you feel like this story has blown to be big enough to actually have a negative impact on the Fresh and Fit podcast? Or do you look at it as, hey, it's just publicity, so it's just going to make them grow even more? It's going to have the Kevin Samuels effect, that YouTuber who he's had viral videos, what he has that quote unquote average at best video that went viral and kind of really catapulted his YouTube channel. I've watched videos of his, but I've never seen that particular video, because by the time that video came out, I had already stopped rocking with Kevin. I just concluded that he just wasn't the type of content creator I personally wanted to support. I didn't feel like he truly runs a ship where he's about trying to uplift and encourage Black women to do better. To me, I feel like he's just out there to make a dime off of just degrading and embarrassing Black women, and they just line up in droves for him to do it. I don't get that part, but that might be a whole nother video, because women constantly call in only for him to rate them at a 2. We're telling the average is best. Like what are we doing here? Why? I don't know on what day I'm going to feel the need to call up to someone's platform and just have them rate me. Like, sis, like, really, this is what we're doing? What are you getting up out of it? I know them women can't be walking away walking with their head higher than what it was. You can't be. But he has now over 1 million subscribers, you know, from that nonsense. And I only hope that with this whole debacle with Fresh and Fit, that it won't have that type of result where, okay, the negativity will have people just coming over in droves because they really got off on how they treated this Black woman. I just hope it don't have that effect, but I don't know. You know, I guess we'll see. If it does, I guess, you know, what they say, the numbers won't lie. We'll see it in the, you know, the growth of the channel. But yeah, it's just a sad situation. My thing is, you know, Fresh and Fit, do you like who you like, but just keep your name out your mouth, bro. Like leave the Black, just don't even talk, don't even bring up the Black girls. If somebody say, hey, you date, no, keep it moving. Don't even, just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. If somebody's not asking you to elaborate on why, you just leave it at, that's just not my preference, and keep it moving. So yeah, please just like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go online. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on it, on this whole situation. I like to read thoughts, your comments. A lot of people have had an opinion about this whole situation. It's been kind of on both sides. So I'd like to know, how do you feel about, this whole situation, and, how these gentlemen treated, or in particular, Myron, because the other, host, he didn't treat her any kind of way. It's just that he's just Fresh and Fit, he's a part of, I guess he's the Fresh and Fit, he was just there. So, but it was about the particular encounter that Asian Doll had with Myron, I guess he's the Fit and Fresh and Fit. So it kind of came down to her interaction with him, but they're a duo. So, both of them are kind of catching the heat for it. I haven't heard yet as far as any feedback or response they have had following this whole situation. We saw what Asian Doll had to say. So let me see before I jump off of here if there's something I can find really quick about if they did have something to say regarding the whole situation, because I hadn't heard anyone speak on how they felt about everything pertaining to the matter. Let's see, what can I find? Let's see. I'm not seeing anything yet. Excuse me. If you guys end up hearing a response or something like that, yeah, just drop it in the comment on the video. Drop it on the comment on the video. Let me know, what you've learned, or any new information you've heard in regards to this whole situation with Asian Doll going on the Fresh and Fit podcast, Joe Budden's comments in regards to how Fresh and Fit handled the situation with Asian Doll, and their comments about not dating Black women, like any of that, because Joe had a lot to say, and he's made it clear, he's not rocking with the fellas, but as we've seen, they say he's since deleted his posts. So Not sure why he did that, if that's just how he felt when he made those comments, why he pulled it. I don't know. So, yes, just let me know. Drop a comment, if you have anything to add pertaining to this topic. So, before you leave, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you on the next broadcast. Peace.